Hey there guys, it is I, NibletK, and first of all, I would like to say sorry for being so absent lately, both on Twitch and on YouTube. The reason was mainly because of real life things that are happening, but that's besides the point. Being sick, work, and stuff like that. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's get back to what's really important right now. And that is, of course, Hearthstone. We're gonna continue our Hearthstone Rastakhan Rumble card review. All of the cards have been released, as in we now know what all of the cards are, and I'm really late to the review to the game, but we're gonna catch up and we're gonna do multiple parts. We're not gonna go into one really long video, but here we're gonna start off with part 3 of my review. So let's get right into it. Okay, now we got Spirit of the Dead. This is the spirit card for Priest. It is a 1 mana 0/3. 0/3s are all of the spirits. It has stealth for 1 turn, and the effect reads, after a friendly minion dies, shuffle a 1-cost copy of it into your deck. Now that could be really powerful with Priest. Having a lot of 1-cost cards ain't really like the best thing. However, you get a specific copy of any minion that dies. Now, some minions are really impactful, and even as a 1-cost copy of like a Ysera or a Lich King, that is overpowered as hell. It's gonna be a little bit hard to pull off, but we don't really know exactly how the spirits cards in general are going to play out. It seems as though they're situational in most archetypes and in most decks, but it's definitely something that people are going to try out. And only by trying them out specifically will we actually know how good they actually are and how they will affect the meta. Spirit of the Dead, definitely a cool card, really nice for priests. They really enjoy having that resurrect mechanic and getting cheap stuff, also copying other things, so it might be interesting to see. Like I said, we won't know exactly until we try it. Let's see, do I gotta go this way? Yeah, yes. Okay, cool. Now that we got that out of the way, let's continue. Here we have Bonsamdi, the Dead. I don't know. I think this is the Lola or the Troll Champion. I not entirely sure. I think this is the Lola. It's a 7 mana 7/7, so decent stats. Battle Cry, draw 1-cost minions from your deck until your hand is full. Now these things tend to go in conjunction with the spirits. Most of the champions or the Loas have some sort of niche attachment to their spirit cards for that specific class, so that's kind of like a synergy based thing that they're going for. And it's nice to see Blizzard actually implementing more like specific themed synergies throughout the set, right? It's not, because it really sucks when you get, like, we saw this, I'm gonna deviate a little bit off. We saw this like in specifically quest cards, and I'm gonna go to Warlock. We're gonna see that Warlock is getting a lot of discard love this expansion, but we got the quest like ages ago and you can't make it work. So it's nice to see them actually focusing a little bit more on the specific, brand of the set specifically, so that you can try that out and not wait like a couple of expansions to actually make it viable, right? And that's what I wanted to say. It's nice to see that they implement the full-on deck mechanics of certain things like this in the entire set, because it would be really annoying if you would get one Sanbi, I'm butchering his name, whatever. You get the 7 mana 7/7 that draws you 1-cost minions. Sure, you can have a couple of 1-cost minions, that Priest has, that might be good enough for you to run just this card. However, slightly, doubtful about that. But if you wouldn't get like something that allows you to generate 1-cost minions of whatever minion that died utilizing their spirit, and then getting some sort of mechanic only 2 expansions away, that will make this card literally dead and unplayable most of the time. Like, at all, you wouldn't even touch it. Having the mechanics itself helps you, at least try the things out and learn new mechanics and learn the cards and enjoy the game far easier. Going on, next we have a Druid card, another 7 mana 7/7 Ironhide Direhorn. This beast, okay, overkill, summon a 5/5 Ironhide Runt. This is an interesting card. So if you get to overkill something, you summon another 5/5. Now if this minion gets to attack 2 times and overkills 2 times, you get to summon 2 5/5 Ironhides. That is already broken. So I believe this card is pretty good. It's going to be definitely annoying, especially in Arena, when trades are like all over the place. Even if you get like one decent trade and this thing still summons you a 5/5 in the end, and you got to kill something specific. Now it doesn't trade up into the 8 health pool, because you actually have to overkill, so you have to kill at least something with 6 health. That's gonna be a little bit more awkward, but nonetheless, I think it's still a powerful Druid card. Druids being able to ramp up in mana, so this might actually be a turn 5 play or a turn 4 play, and that by itself is going to be really impactful on the game, allowing you to really burst out in tempo and slowing down the game for your opponent. So yeah, I believe this card is pretty good. Only time will tell. Like with each and every card, I'm going to say pretty much only time will tell. But yeah, I believe this is a good card. Next we have Undasa, a neutral legendary. 9 mana, 7/7. So stats are bad. 9 mana is really high on the curve. Pretty much it's a 1-turn card. You can't really combo it with most other things. Now let's see what Undasa does. So it has Rush, so that means you can impact the board directly on that turn. And it also has Overkill. Again, 7/7. You're not going to deal with like a Lich King or anything else that has 8+ health. However, for the overkill effect to take place, I already told you, you need to attack into something that has 6 health minimum or maximum. And the overkill says summon a beast from your hand. This looks like a really good Druid card, or in the way that Druids might actually get to use this, or Hunters. The other classes don't typically run too many beasts or beast synergy decks, so I would actually see this more like a tech card, maybe combo card, and specifically Druid that can play beasts, and also Hunters. Other than that, this card is not your go-to, removal card or anything like that. Because at 9 mana plus, you probably have better options for your class specifically that you might want to run. Okay, next we have Guruboshy Chicken. It's a 1 mana 1/1. It's your typical angry chicken. It says overkill, gain +5 attack. Now this card is really bad in the state that you're not going to put it in any kind of deck. This card is mainly there, for Rexar's Beast Pool, Zombeast Pool, right? Because getting this cheap overkill effect, it's pretty much stitching a 1 mana +1/+1 overkill, gain +5 attack to any other beast that you will get through Rexar's through Deathstalker Rexar's hero ability, which is zombies. So getting anything that allows you to have overkill, gain +5 attack on a specific taunt or rush or lifesteal or whatever it is going to be impactful. So this beast being there is definitely going to be like the creation of interesting matches by Guruboshy Chicken in Deathstalker Rexar matches is going to be insane. Other than that, this card is garbage. Next we have a new challenger, a 7 mana, so really high cost, spell for Paladin. Discover a 6-cost minion, summon it with Taunt and Divine Shield. Now this card is insane. I'm pretty sure that each Paladin is going to run at least one of these cards. At least one of these cards. Because one, it guarantees you that whatever you find is going to have Taunt and Divine Shield. Now that alone is really impactful, because we can see in Paladin, even the stupid little squirey thing with Taunt and Divine Shield that's a 1 mana 1/1 with Taunt and Divine Shield is such a pest, is so annoying to deal with sometimes. And plus 6 costs are not that bad. Imagine if you get anything that has like 4 to 5 attack, health, anything like that, plus a death rattle effect maybe, or any other kind of interesting effect, and you just smash Taunt and Divine Shield on that. That is brilliant. It's pretty good. We already have a 6 mana 4/5 with Taunt and Divine Shield, and that's a pretty decent card. 1 mana plus, for the maybe you get something else. I think this is a good card. I definitely think that at least one of these cards, a one-off, is going to be at least in most decks. Plus, this is an odd cost card as well, so it's going to go perfectly in a specific archetype of of paladins, and it's going to be frustrating and annoying for your opponent, because this thing is going to pretty much allow you to go wide on the board until they get passed through your minion that you summon. You're gonna have 1 or 2 turns to recatch back up on your really aggressive state. Next we have Zant Demo. This is the troll champion for Shaman. Really low cost, a 3 mana 1/3. The stats are bad. Now let's see what he does. Whenever you target a minion with a spell, it also targets adjacent ones. Interesting. So if you play Zant Demo and you play specific buff cards on your own minions, you're going to buff 3 of your minions. Now, Shaman has a few buff cards that are really impactful, especially with elementals and, rejuvenation and stuff like that, that allows you to give your minions taunt and get them back to full health, or giving them death rattle, resummon this minion. Stuff like that is really impactful. This is also really good in highly aggressive things. If you want to take control of the board with, let's say, on turn 4, you can deal 3 damage to 3 specific minions on your opponent's side by utilizing Zant Demo and a shock thing bolt. Why are the words not coming to me? I don't know. I've been a little bit away. I told you guys. Sorry. I apologize for that. I do know what I'm talking about. I just forget names. Names are bad sometimes. Okay, so Zant Demo is definitely a good card to get and experiment with. I think this is a decent card. It's, tending to be more of a really good card, depending on what kind of deck you're going to put it in. Excuse me. Next we have Waterboy. This guy looks cute and cool. Okay, 2 mana, 2/1, so stats are meh. Not the best you want. Battle Cry. Your next hero power this turn costs 0. So it's effectively allowing you to utilize your hero power. Really interesting to see. Don't know exactly what kind of class would utilize this the most. Probably Paladin or Shaman, allowing you to get multiple totems maybe, or, more tokens. I don't know exactly if this is good in Rogue or anything like that. Might be interesting to see in hyper aggressive hunter decks, but I believe they would rather run other things rather than the Waterboy. That extra 2 damage to your opponent's face might not be really justified for hunters specifically. I don't know. It's interesting to see this kind of card exist. I'm definitely curious to see what kind of memes or specific combos or archetypes are going to revolve around this card specifically, and how this card can influence the game. Up until now, as I'm seeing it, it's a decent card to have, but I don't think it's like a really good card. Next we have, now this one's a cool one. I'm gonna tell you that. A 7 mana 4/4. Stats are horrible. We have whatever. It's a Dragonhawk. Okay, it's the legendary spirit Lola, whatever you call it, for mage. It's a 7 mana 4/4 beast. They're all beasts, the Lolas, whatever. It says Battle Cry. If your hero power dealt 8 damage this game, summon Ragnaros the Fire Lord. So effectively you have to utilize your hero power 8 times. Up until turn 7, you can't really do that, right? Because even if you get to utilize your hero power each and every turn, which is hard because you're sacrificing a lot of tempo for that, you won't be able to effectively summon this guy on 7 mana. If you would do that, you still need to go like 8 turns. So maybe you could actually summon this guy on turn 9. So at 9 mana, effectively you can skip 1 hero power and then, play 1 hero power for 2 mana and then play him for the rest of the manas, and then you can summon. Now, this specifically is a late card game. We also saw the other card that allows you to utilize your hero power for free. Now that might be something that you might want to put in this kind of deck, where you want to get those hero powers specifically dealt with, you know, and also put something on the board and not lose that much of your tempo. So that card might actually be good in this kind of situation. However, the card is really flavorful and really strong as well. I really enjoy it. I like it. It's cool. And it's definitely gonna see some play because, let's face it, Ragnaros is, you know, in the Hall of Fame for a reason. It's such a good card. It is really RNG based, but it's really good. So getting Ragnaros back into the game, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to try to do that as effectively as possible. And when we're going to reach that effectiveness, you know, when that state is going to be reached, this card is going to go really up and high. It all depends on the tools we're going to get and what the meta is going to be. You know, as in how easy is it going to allow us to get there. Next we have Spirit of the Dragonhawk. Now this is the Spirit for Mage. It is a 2 mana 0/3 stealth for 1 turn. Your hero power also targets adjacent minions. Now this is really cool because it allows you to effectively spread the damage, and as you guys saw, your hero power has to deal 8 damage, doesn't have to be utilized 8 times. Now having the Spirit down and allowing you to target, you know, 3 specific things, that's already 3 damage dealt. If you have this in play and you get to utilize your hero power twice, that's already 6 damage. If you manage to do this and utilize your hero power 3 times, you're already there. You're at 9 damage dealt, and you can effectively play the Dragonhawk legendary minion on turn 7 and get your Ragnaros out. Like I said before, it's really nice to see that the whole spirits with the Lolas, with the entire thing, actually is bundled up in this expansion, and they work together perfectly to create and give off that real vibe that they're going for, and you don't have to wait like a gazillion years of expansions to actually make something work. Kudos to you, Blizzard. That's it for this part. Really enjoyed seeing these kind of things. I believe this is going to get played with. I don't know exactly how good it's going to be, but on its own, might see some play. It might see some play. You know, the ping is really necessary for Mage, and allowing you to ping 3 things at a time is probably going to be really frustrating, you know, for aggressive decks to actually do something against you. So even a control style Mage might actually end up running this for the early game, you know, lockdown of specific decks. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.